Hey gang, TigerBill here and welcome back. If you were here for our last session, and if not, I suggest you check that out. We're talking about variations of the money beat groove. Well, this time we're going to talk about the most important member of the band, aside from you, the drummer. Who do you think that most important member of the band would be? Definitely, if you say the bass player, you're right on. Now, there's so many bands out there with drummers and bass players, and a lot of times the drummer and the bass player doesn't get along. Well, that's a recipe for disaster, because if you want to have a band that grooves, the drummer and the bass player, according to Bernard Purdie in his own words, have to be in love. It's like a marriage, you know, and he's really right on. And if you don't know about Bernard Purdie yet, it's time to find out about him. Type his name in YouTube. I grew up listening to the guy. He was one of my favorite players of all time. He's a groove genius. And he played with King Curtis, and he played with Aretha Franklin and everybody else on the planet. But just type those into YouTube for a sampling of some of Bernard's best playing. He's a great guy, good friend of mine, and I love Bernard. And he's right on the money as far as groove goes. He's the master groove artist. So when you're talking about a band and the groove, it's the drummer and the bass player. Nobody else. Everybody else could be out of sync. Everybody else could be on their own planet. It doesn't matter. If the drummer and the bass player are locked together tight, like in a marriage, then the band is going to groove. If not, you might as well forget it. So that's why we worked on variations last time on the money beat, messing around with the bass drum, because the deal is, in the band, you have to listen to the bass player. The bass player has to listen to you. You have to get your act together, both of you. If you know how to play a beat, let's say you only know how to play one money beat, not good enough. That's why we practice. We practice variations in our practice schedule every day. So if the bass player's playing a groove that you never heard before, chances are, if you've practiced enough coordination exercises, like we've been doing with the money beats and stuff, you'll be able to pick it up right on the spot. That's the magic of music, and that's why we practice. You should practice much more and many more things than you'll ever use on the gig. Because if the bass player plays something that, hey, that's cool, man, but if you can't play with it, if you can't get on it with him, you know, you're lacking. The band's not going to be tight, not going to be solid. So trust me, the bass player in any band is your best friend, and vice versa. Okay, so hope that helps. Until next time, always have fun and always stay loose.